What's up guys, KalipezTech here, coming back at you with another video. Today, I'm going to be going over 5 reasons to buy the BLU G71 in 2021. So let's get started. The first reason to buy the BLU G71 in 2021 is the large display. This phone has a 6.5-inch LCD display with a resolution of 720p, a PPI of 270, and an aspect ratio of 20:9. Right now, I do have the brightness at 100%, and even though it's only 720p, I do think it looks really nice. And aside from that, of course, the best thing about this display is the size. At 6.5 inches, this display is definitely on the larger side, and that's gonna be good for stuff like content consumption, if you're streaming videos, playing a game, even if you're reading. Everything is just gonna be a lot better. You're gonna be able to see the little details much easier. And not only is this phone big enough to the point where you get the benefits of having a large display, but it's also not so big that it's uncomfortable to carry around, because a lot of phones are like that. And even though having a larger display is good, having too big of a display can be a disadvantage too. So in my opinion, this phone really fits the best of both worlds. The second reason to buy the BLU G71 in 2021 is the storage. This phone has 64 gigabytes of internal storage with microSD card expansion, and for a phone in this price range, this is actually super good. Most phones in this price range are getting 32 gigabytes, sometimes as little as 16, which is basically nothing. With apps getting larger and larger these days, and the system taking up a decent amount of space too, it's important to have as much storage as you can get. It's better to have more storage than you need than not enough, because even if you have a lot of storage that you don't even need to use, it's better than running out of space. The only time I could really see the average user running out of space on this phone is if you have lots of high performance games or lots of photos and videos. And honestly, those activities at the scale you would need to be doing them to run out of space on this phone are a little bit beyond this phone's capabilities anyway. This phone is really not made for high performance gaming. And as far as video goes, this phone does shoot pretty good quality videos, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily good enough for professional videos. And that's the only situation I could see you having so many videos on the phone that you run out of space. So at the end of the day, for the activities this phone is really made for, you're super unlikely to actually run out of space on it. Now, even if you do run out of space, say you take a ton of photos and videos, something like that, you can always use a microSD card to expand the storage even more. So again, really unlikely to run out, definitely among the best in its class as far as storage goes. The third reason to buy the BLU G71 in 2021 is the battery. This phone has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so you're really not going to get much bigger than that. This is not only going to give you a ton of life per charge, so you can go throughout the day using your phone without having to worry about it dying, but it's also going to have the longevity that other phones don't have. For example, the iPhone 12 has a 2,815 milliamp hour battery, so this phone has almost double its size. So in a few years, the battery of a phone like the iPhone, that's a lot smaller than this one, is most likely going to really be starting to wear out. But at that point, a battery like the one in this phone is probably still going to have a lot of life left in it. So it's going to be able to go even longer. Now, if you prefer to get a phone and keep it for as long as you can, this is going to be a big advantage for you, because with a larger battery, the life is going to degrade a little bit slower, so you're not going to have to replace your phone as often. My fourth reason to buy the BLU G71 in 2021 is the ultra-wide camera. Now, an ultra-wide camera really isn't a unique and uncommon feature per se, but with these entry-level phones, it's a little bit more uncommon to have a good ultra-wide camera. Usually what happens with phones at this level is the ultra-wide camera has a lot of distortion, maybe some blurriness or warped edges around the outskirts of the frame, and it really doesn't look very good at all. But as you can see here, the photo taken with the ultra-wide camera of this phone is real nice looking. There's no distortion or warped edges or anything like that. The colors and sharpness all look really good for what it is. This is the picture taken by the rear camera of the phone, and as you can see, it doesn't really lose quality going into the ultra wide, and that's more than you can say for a lot of other phones at this same level. A lot of the time, the quality taken by an ultra wide camera, even in the higher end phones, isn't nearly as good as the quality of a photo taken by the regular rear camera, and in this case it looks really similar. So if you do like the ultra wide camera feature or just value a good camera in general, then this phone is going to be a good option. Now, it's not flagship level quality. Keep in mind, at the end of the day, this is just an entry level phone, so you're not going to get the best quality in the world, but at the same time, compared to pretty much any other phone at its level, the camera of this phone, especially the ultra wide camera, is really nice. Now, my fifth and final reason to buy the BLU G71 in 2021 is the overall design. I really like the thin bezels on this phone, and the hole punch camera really adds to the nice modern look, and the body of the phone is really sleek and thin, definitely comfortable to hold in your hand and carry around in your pocket. Even the back of the phone is made of this red matte material that not only barely picks up any fingerprints, but also looks really unique without looking obnoxious or cheap. So overall, you're getting a phone that not only has some nice features and good performance and a good looking large display, but also one that looks really sleek and modern and has a more unique look to it. Now, it doesn't look like a super high-end flagship phone, I wouldn't say that, but at the same time, it doesn't really look like a cheap phone either. The only thing I don't like about this phone's design is this Google Assistant button. I think it's really unnecessary and super annoying for those who don't use Google Assistant, but that's more of a functionality thing. As far as aesthetics go, this phone does look really nice. But those were my 5 reasons to buy the BLU G71 in 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you found this information useful as well. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.